The baby stroller in the grocery store drew stares wherever she went. Whispered comments followed her through the aisles as strangers assumed she was the grandmother, not the mother. But when Ellen asked Patricia Chen about her baby, her answer revealed the complex reality of late-in-life motherhood. "She's 6 months old, and I'm 52. Everyone thinks I'm her grandmother." Patricia Chen, 52, sat in the interview chair with her 6-month-old daughter Lily sleeping peacefully in her arms, looking every bit the devoted mother despite the exhaustion visible in her eyes. Her graying hair was pulled back in a practical ponytail, and dark circles under her eyes spoke to the sleepless nights that come with new motherhood. What made Patricia's maternal journey remarkable wasn't just her age, but her decision to have her first child at an age when most women were becoming grandmothers. The Ellen DeGeneres Show had invited Patricia during their Unconventional Families Week, celebrating families that didn't fit traditional molds. Patricia's story had seemed inspiring to producers, a successful businesswoman who had finally achieved her dream of motherhood after years of fertility struggles. Her submission described her as a woman who had never given up hope and had finally been blessed with a miracle baby. What Ellen's producers didn't fully understand was the intense scrutiny and judgment Patricia faced daily for her decision to become a mother so late in life. Every doctor's appointment, every trip to the park, every interaction with other mothers was colored by assumptions about her age and fitness to parent. She had endured countless comments about the risks to both herself and her baby, suggestions that she was being selfish, and constant reminders that she might not live to see her daughter graduate. Patricia's journey to motherhood had been a 2-decade odyssey of heartbreak and hope. She had married her husband David at 35, expecting to start a family immediately. But years of infertility treatments, miscarriages, and failed adoptions had pushed that dream further and further into the future. By 45, she had given up hope and focused on her career as a financial advisor, achieving considerable success, but always feeling the absence of the child she had longed for. The opportunity to become pregnant at 52 had come unexpectedly through egg donation and IVF, a last-chance attempt that Patricia and David had decided to try after his younger sister offered to be their egg donor. The pregnancy had been high risk, requiring bed rest for the final 3 months, and delivery by cesarean section, but Lily had arrived healthy and perfect. Now, 6 months later, Patricia was navigating the challenges of new motherhood while dealing with constant judgment about her age. "Patricia," Ellen began with genuine warmth, immediately drawn to the peaceful baby in Patricia's arms. "Congratulations on your beautiful daughter. Tell us about your journey to motherhood." Patricia's face lit up as she looked down at Lily. "Thank you, Ellen. It's been the most incredible and challenging experience of my life." Ellen felt curious about Patricia's unique situation. "You mentioned you're 52. What's it like becoming a first-time mother at this stage of life?" "It's everything I dreamed it would be," Patricia said, then paused. "But it's also much harder than I expected, and not just because of the sleepless nights." Ellen sensed there was more to Patricia's story. "What makes it harder?" "The judgment," Patricia said simply. "People see me with Lily and assume I'm her grandmother. When they find out I'm her mother, the comments start." Ellen felt the weight of social expectations in Patricia's voice. "What kinds of comments do you get?" "That I'm too old to keep up with a child," Patricia said, her voice growing stronger. "That it's selfish to have a baby when I might not live to see her grow up. That I should have accepted being childless." Ellen realized Patricia was facing criticism for a deeply personal choice. "How do those comments affect you?" "They hurt," Patricia admitted, "especially because I spent so many years believing some of those things myself." Ellen felt the internal struggle Patricia had faced. "What changed your mind about having a baby?" "I realized that love doesn't have an expiration date," Patricia said, "and that I had so much love to give that it seemed wrong to let age stop me." Ellen was moved by Patricia's perspective. "What was your husband's reaction when you decided to try again?" "David was scared," Patricia said honestly. "He worried about the health risks for both me and the baby, but he also saw how much I needed to try one more time." Ellen felt the complexity of the decision they had faced. What were the medical risks? Higher risk of complications during pregnancy and delivery, Patricia explained. Higher chance of chromosomal abnormalities, increased risk of gestational diabetes and high blood pressure. Ellen realized the serious medical considerations involved. How did you handle those risks? Very careful monitoring throughout the pregnancy, Patricia said. Weekly doctor visits, multiple specialists, bed rest for 3 months. Ellen felt the dedication Patricia had shown. That sounds incredibly difficult. It was worth every day of bed rest to hold her, Patricia said, looking down at Lily with pure love. Ellen was curious about the practical aspects. What's it like physically being a new mom at Exhausting, Patricia said with a laugh. I don't recover from sleepless nights like I did in my 20s. My back aches from carrying her. I need reading glasses to see the instructions on baby formula. Ellen felt the reality of aging while parenting. Do you worry about keeping up with her as she gets older? Every day, Patricia admitted. But then I remind myself that energy and love aren't the same thing. Ellen sensed Patricia had thought deeply about this concern. What do you mean? I may not be able to chase her around the playground when I'm 65, Patricia said. But I can teach her things, support her dreams, and love her unconditionally. Ellen felt the wisdom in Patricia's perspective. How do other mothers treat you? It varies, Patricia said diplomatically. Some are supportive. Others clearly think I don't belong in their mommy groups. Ellen realized Patricia faced social isolation. Have you found a community of supportive mothers? It's been challenging, Patricia admitted. Most women my age have teenagers or adult children. Most new mothers are in their 20s and 30s. Ellen felt the loneliness in Patricia's situation. That must feel isolating. Sometimes, Patricia said, but Lily doesn't care how old I am. She just cares that I'm here for her. Ellen made a decision to address the broader implications. Patricia, I want to bring someone out who works with women who become mothers later in life. Dr. Jennifer Walsh, a reproductive endocrinologist who specialized in later life pregnancies and their psychological implications, emerged from backstage. She approached Patricia with the understanding of someone who had worked with many women facing similar challenges. Hello, Patricia, Dr. Walsh said warmly. Congratulations on your beautiful daughter. Patricia looked relieved to see a medical professional who understood her situation. Thank you. It's nice to meet someone who doesn't think I'm crazy for having a baby at Dr. Walsh smiled reassuringly. You're definitely not crazy. Later life motherhood is becoming increasingly common. Ellen felt encouraged by Dr. Walsh's perspective. Dr. Walsh, how common is it for women to have first babies in their 50s? While still relatively rare, the numbers are increasing, Dr. Walsh explained. Advances in reproductive technology have made it possible for women to have healthy pregnancies later in life. Patricia looked interested in the statistics. How many women like me are there? More than you might think, Dr. Walsh said, and the outcomes for both mothers and babies are generally very positive with proper medical care. Ellen asked about the concerns Patricia had mentioned. What about the criticism that women face for having babies later in life? Unfortunately, women face judgment about reproduction at every age, Dr. Walsh said. Too young, too old, too many children, not enough children. Society seems to have opinions about every reproductive choice. Patricia nodded in agreement. I've heard all of those comments at different times in my life. Ellen felt the unfairness of societal expectations. What would you say to people who think 52 is too old to become a mother? I'd ask them what the appropriate age limit should be, Dr. Walsh responded, and whether they apply the same standards to fathers who have children in their 50s, 60s, or even 70s. Patricia looked empowered by this perspective. That's something I've noticed. No one questions older fathers the same way. Ellen realized the double standard in societal attitudes. What are the actual considerations for later life motherhood? Financial stability, emotional readiness, strong support systems, and good health, Dr. Walsh listed. Patricia seems to have all of these. Ellen felt this addressed many of the criticisms Patricia faced. What about the concern that Patricia might not live to see Lily grow up? None of us are guaranteed tomorrow, Dr. Walsh said gently. Patricia is healthy and statistically likely to live well into her 80s. Lily would be in her 30s by then. Patricia looked comforted by this perspective. I've thought about this a lot. I'd rather give her 30-40 years of devoted motherhood than no motherhood at all. Ellen felt the strength of Patricia's conviction. What advice do you have for Patricia as she navigates motherhood? Trust your instincts, Dr. Walsh said. You have decades of life experience that younger mothers don't have. That's actually an advantage. Patricia seemed to gain confidence from this validation. I do feel like my life experience helps me stay calm during difficult moments. Ellen was curious about this perspective. How has your age been an advantage in motherhood? I know who I am, Patricia said thoughtfully. I don't need to prove anything to anyone. I can focus entirely on being the best mother I can be. Dr. Walsh reinforced this point. Older mothers often have more stable relationships, better financial resources, and clearer priorities. These are all beneficial for children. Ellen felt the positive aspects of Patricia's situation. What would you want other women considering later life motherhood to know? That it's possible, Patricia said. It's not easy, and you'll face judgment. But it's possible to have a healthy baby and be a good mother at any age. Dr. Walsh added important medical context. With proper medical care and realistic expectations, later life motherhood can be a positive experience for both mother and child. Ellen made an announcement that could help Patricia connect with others. Patricia, we want to help you connect with other mothers who had children later in life. Patricia's eyes lit up with hope. There are support groups for women like me. Absolutely, Dr. Walsh confirmed. You're not alone in this journey. Ellen felt moved by Patricia's courage. What do you hope for Lily's future? I want her to know that dreams don't have expiration dates, Patricia said. That it's never too late to pursue what makes you happy. Dr. Walsh addressed a common concern. What about energy levels as Lily gets older? I may need to be creative about how I parent, Patricia acknowledged, but love and wisdom can compensate for physical limitations. Ellen asked about Patricia's support system. How is your husband adjusting to fatherhood at David is amazing, Patricia said with a smile. He says he's more patient now than he would have been 20 years ago. Dr. Walsh noted this common pattern. Many older parents report feeling more emotionally prepared for the challenges of parenting. Ellen felt the maturity advantage Patricia described. What's been the most surprising thing about motherhood? How natural it feels, Patricia said. I was worried that waiting so long would make me a worse mother, but it's the opposite. I appreciate every moment. The episode aired 2 months later, after Patricia had connected with support groups for later life mothers and gained confidence in her parenting journey. The response was overwhelming, with thousands of women sharing their own stories of non-traditional paths to motherhood. Patricia joined online communities of older mothers and found both virtual and local support networks. She discovered that many women faced similar challenges and judgments, and that sharing experiences helped reduce the isolation she had felt. Her relationship with Lily continued to flourish, and Patricia found that her concerns about energy levels were often outweighed by her patience and life experience. She approached parenting challenges with a calm perspective that served both her and her daughter well. 6 months later, Patricia returned to Ellen's show for a follow-up, looking more confident and rested than she had during her first appearance. Lily, now a year old, was alert and clearly thriving. How has motherhood been treating you? Ellen asked with genuine interest. Better than I ever imagined, Patricia said with a radiant smile. Every challenge has been worth it. How do you handle the comments about your age now? I've learned to respond with confidence, Patricia said. When someone assumes I'm the grandmother, I simply say, no, I'm the very proud mother. Ellen felt the growth in Patricia's self-assurance. What's changed the most for you? I've stopped apologizing for my choices, Patricia said. I'm an excellent mother, regardless of my age. Dr. Walsh, who had continued following Patricia's journey, Join the follow-up. Patricia represents the reality that motherhood can happen successfully at many different life stages. Ellen asked about Patricia's advice for other women. What would you tell women who are considering motherhood later in life? Trust yourself, Patricia said. If you have love to give and the resources to support a child, age is just a number. Ellen kept a photo from that follow-up show. Patricia confidently holding Lily while discussing her parenting philosophy, no longer defensive about her choices, but proud of her unconventional journey to motherhood. Because Patricia learned that love doesn't have an expiration date, and that society's timelines don't have to dictate personal choices, that motherhood is about devotion, not age, and that life experience can be as valuable as youthful energy, and that the courage to pursue dreams, even when others doubt them, often leads to the most meaningful achievements. Patricia's journey showed that families come in all forms and timelines, and that the love between a mother and child transcends conventional expectations. She proved that it's never too late to become the person you were meant to be, even if that person is a mother at 5. Most importantly, Patricia learned that her daughter wouldn't remember the comments from strangers or the judgment from society. Lily would only remember being loved, supported, and cherished by a mother who waited a lifetime to hold her and appreciated every moment of the privilege.